Four college students found brutally murdered inside their off-campus home. No witnesses. No suspects. No clear motive. It became one of the most chilling murder mysteries in America. And then, an unexpected suspect emerged. This is the story of the Idaho college murders, and the shocking arrest of Bryan Kohberger. In the shadows of forgotten files, lies the truth no one dared to uncover. Welcome to the Lost Chronicle Files. On November 13, 2022, the small college town of Moscow, Idaho, woke up to a nightmare. For University of Idaho students, Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were found stabbed to death inside their rental home. The murders were brutal, targeted, and terrifying. For weeks, the police had no solid leads. The town was gripped by fear. And then, in a stunning twist, authorities arrested a 28-year-old criminology PhD student, Bryan Kohberger. But who is Bryan Kohberger? And what really happened that night? Kaylee, Madison, Xana, and Ethan were young, full of life, and had bright futures ahead. They were close friends. Kaylee and Madison had grown up together and were practically inseparable. Xana and Ethan were a couple, and Ethan was visiting Xana at the house that night. There was no reason to believe any of them were involved in anything dangerous. Their deaths sent shockwaves across the nation. On the night of November 12, 2022, Kaylee and Madison were seen at a popular bar, the Corner Club. They then visited a food truck before heading home around 1:45 a.m. Xana and Ethan had been at a fraternity party and returned around the same time. Sometime between 4 a.m. and 4:25 a.m., an unknown assailant entered the home and murdered all four students while they slept, except Xana, who showed signs of fighting back. Two other roommates were home during the murders but were unharmed. One roommate reported hearing noises and even seeing a masked man leave the house. The initial investigation was slow and frustrating. With no murder weapon found and few clues left behind, speculation ran wild. Internet sleuths flooded social media with theories. But behind the scenes, the police were carefully building their case. Investigators zeroed in on a white Hyundai Elantra seen near the scene. They also collected DNA from a knife sheath found near one of the victims. The breakthrough came when a familial DNA match led them to Bryan Kohberger. Bryan Kohberger was a PhD student in criminology at Washington State University, just 10 miles away from Moscow. He had an intense interest in criminal psychology and the minds of killers. In fact, he had once posted a survey asking criminals to describe their thoughts and feelings while committing crimes. To many, he seemed like an academic, quiet, intense, but otherwise normal. But investigators believed he had been stalking the victims for weeks. Cell phone records showed him near the house multiple times before the murders. On December 30, 2022, Bryan Kohberger was arrested at his parents' home in Pennsylvania. He was extradited back to Idaho to face 4 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of burglary. The arrest shocked the nation. How could someone studying criminal behavior commit such a brutal act? The key pieces of evidence included DNA from the knife sheath matching Kohberger, Surveillance footage of his Hyundai Elantra near the scene. Cell phone pings placing him near the victim's house. A possible motive involving obsession or rejection. Yet Kohberger maintains his innocence, and the case is still ongoing. As of 2024, Kohberger's trial has been delayed multiple times. He faces the death penalty if convicted. His defense team has raised issues about the DNA evidence and suggested that Kohberger may have been framed. Meanwhile, the families of the victims are seeking justice and closure. The world watches and waits to see how this chilling case will unfold. Four promising lives were taken in a senseless act of violence. Whatever the outcome of the trial, the loss suffered by the families, friends, and the Moscow community will never be forgotten. What do you think? Was Brian Kohberger truly the killer, or is there more to this story? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more true crime breakdowns, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates on this or other chilling cases. Stay safe. Stay curious. See you in the next one.